Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sam Well. Welcome to another edition of Points in the Paint. Wanted to hop on here tonight, touch base with you guys. We know we just wrapped up the NBA in-season tournament, the first one of its kind over the weekend. So I thought we'd do a little recap of that tournament, of what the championship game, and obviously the games leading up to it. Again, this is another edition of Points in the Paint for brought to you by For Frequency's Sake. Feel free to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, and on Instagram as well. Feel free to follow me below. I can be reached at the Twitter or X handle listed below at Mark0220. And yeah, I just want to let's just get into it. So yeah, the NBA in season in NBA Cup is what they're calling it now. Probably change the name eventually, but that wrapped up over the weekend. Saturday, the Lakers beat the Pacers in the championship game. Final was 123 to 109. Did sit there. I watched the whole game. It was a pretty good game. Lakers would go up. Pacers battled back. I just think in the end, the Lakers just wanted it more, especially LeBron. If you watched the game, you saw how LeBron was just like a playing like he was 21 years old, just galloping through the paint, just attacking the glass. AD was relentless. AD finished with 41 points, 41 and 20, which is great, great numbers. LeBron had 24. Austin Reeves chipped in with number 20 something. And yeah, it was just a really complete dominant performance by the Lakers. So congratulations to them for being the first um, team to win this in-season tournament. And that was really their motivation. I'm looking at some of the quotes now on the other screen and just hearing LeBron say there's obviously records will be broken, but there's never going to be a first person we're the first team to win this tournament. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Indiana Pacers. They're putting Indiana really on the map. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton special. MVP, one of my MVP candidates. But they got a nice nucleus, a nice thing going there in Indianapolis. So that's good. That's good for them. Both good for both sides, and I think it's just going to help them move them forward in the regular season. So yeah, just looking at some of these box score numbers. For the Pacers, Halliburton had 20 and 11. He did turn the ball over quite a few times, 3 times, even though he had been pretty clean before. And besides him, Obi Toppin 13, Miles Turner 10. Miles Turner really struggled. Watching him, I saw him hit 1 3. He had a bunch of open looks. Neesmith 15, Isaiah Jackson 10, and Benedict Mathurin had 20 off the bench. But like again, a lot of those guys too for the Pacers are young guys, so this tournament kind of helped put them in the spotlight. So I think that'd be good for them, like as far as Mathurin and Neesmith, even Obi Toppin, who was a backup in the Knicks for Julius Randle, the Knicks for a long time. It kind of puts them on the spotlight and in a good way, in a sense, not in a bad way. But yeah, again, congratulations to the Lakers. Indiana Pacers are runners up. If you look at the Lakers box score, AD have 41 and 20. That's a monster game. LeBron 24, 11, and 4 assists. D'Angelo Russell chipped in with 13. Austin Reeves had 28 off the bench. And if I'm looking at this correctly, Austin Reeves and Max Christie had 2 points. Those are the only two bench players that scored for the Lakers. I mean, Rory Hachimura didn't, played 9 minutes, 1 point. Jared Vanderbilt, one field goal, or 0 for 1. Rory Hachimura, 0 for 1. So they really got a Herculean effort from Austin Reeves, too. And I believe he had the flu, so they're calling it the flu game for him. But again, good for them. The winning team of this tournament, the Lakers, each player would get $500,000. And then the losing team in the championship again, Indiana Pacers. They will make 200,000. I want to find out if I can find this. Okay, yeah. And then the runners up get 200,000. So Indiana Pacers would get 200,000, while the Lakers would get 500,000. And then if you look at the losing player, it was semifinals, which would be the Bucks and the Pelicans. they'll each get $100,000. And then if you look at the losing players of the quarterfinals, they'll get $50,000. So that'd probably be the Kings, the Suns, the Celtics, and the Knicks, if I got that right. Just check this bracket again. This thing's going really slow. Bear with me. Yeah. Kings, Suns, Knicks, and Celtics. They all lost in the quarterfinals, so they'll get um $50,000, and they may not be that much. Obviously, $500,000 might not be as much to like somebody of LeBron's stature, AD stature, or even Giannis' stature, but that $500,000 can go a long way for a guy on the team that's in the G League or a bubble, the rookie. So it does go a long way. So it is a pretty big thing. So I like that, and I like it. I think overall, my thoughts on the in season NBA Cup was good. I like how the sense of urgency that the Lakers LeBron played with. I think that single handedly made it interesting, and I think this will be a thing moving forward uh, for seasons to come. I can see other teams and other players really kind of amping up for it, and I could see Commissioner Silver, possibly just throwing in other things. Maybe they double the winnings from maybe each winning player gets $1 million or something, or such and such, or maybe they give the winning team an extra draft pick or something, or extra roster, a draft pick or extra roster spot or something. Just I mean, really, you gotta you gotta incentivize things. So that's good there. Um, and that, again, doesn't have any impact on the playoffs, but it just kind of just highlights some of these young talent that we have in the league. And if you look at all the teams that were actually even in the in season playoff tournament, I mean, Lakers, Suns, Kings, Pelicans, all of them are either in the playoffs or in seedings, or they're on the outside, close on the outside looking in. And I mean, like, and if you look at the other side too, the Bucks, Knicks, Pacers, Celtics. The Bucks and the Celtics are in the playoff picture, and I believe the Knicks are as well, and I believe the Pacers are. I believe all four teams in the East are in the playoffs, and I believe I can't the Lakers mind just fell out of it, but most of those teams in the West, the Kings, the Suns, the Lakers, and the Pelicans, they're all in the playoff picture. I know the Pelicans were a little outside the playoff picture, but they didn't have CJ McCollum for a while, and he just came back. So that'll be something to kind of monitor. But yeah, so the fact that you have these playoff teams taking these things very seriously, I think that'll be good. And I think, yeah, moving forward, yeah, the Pelicans are actually the 10th seed. I'm saying that now. So all the teams that are that are in the playoffs or the play-in tournament are all in the NBA playoffs. So that's good. Yeah. Make sure I had that right. Sacramento, Denver. Yeah. So yeah, I think next year will be more of the same. I could see the level of competitiveness just continuing to rise that tournament. In the actual championship game, it was good. You had your young guns in Indiana going up against, the veterans, LeBron, AD, some of these other guys that have been around. D'Lo's been around for a while. And obviously the veterans, LeBron came out aggressive. And these guys were attacking LeBron. I don't know if I saw LeBron take a three in that game. I think he literally every possession I watched, he was literally just driving and attacking. AD was attacking too, so they could just tell they wanted it more. And even in the game prior, when they played the Pelicans, and they just blew the Pelicans out of the water. And I don't know if you guys saw that game. That was just atrocious. It was close in the first half, and I watched it to halftime. And in the third quarter, the Lakers scored like 40 something points, and it was bad. Like Zion Williamson, he looked out of shape. He looked bad. The Pelicans just looked overwhelmed, and they got ran off the court. That was bad. At least in the other game with Orlando, with Milwaukee and Indiana, Milwaukee was fighting, kept it close. And they were, Milwaukee even took the lead at certain points, and the Pacers eventually won that game, but not the best showing for the Pelicans. I don't want to go too much into that. I've heard a lot of chatter already about Zion and his weight and how he looked gas. He's 15 years younger than LeBron, yet he just looked really gassed and tired. So they got some internal problems they need to address. You heard some stuff about the Bucks and locker room incident with Bobby Portis and the coach. And a lot of that stuff shouldn't even get out the locker room. So it's all just smoke and distractions to me, honestly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this being a thing. I'd rather, I mean, I follow this more than I follow like All Star Weekend as far as the NBA goes. I don't even watch All Star Weekend. I might look at the highlights of the dunk contest and don't really need to look at highlights of the 3-point shootout. You could just who won, okay, and maybe watch the rookie game. Would be nice to watch the rookies and the rising stars, what they call it now. I think rookie sophomore game that'd be something to watch to come to young town. But the actual All Star game, it's just no defense. They play hard the last 5 minutes, but it's usually like it's not really anything to get excited over. When I was younger, yeah, but now that I've seen it a few times, it's cool. It's not, but it's not. But these games, with the crazy courts and the flooring, what I'm saying, it could be a thing. So definitely be something to keep an eye on it from more moving forward. So yeah, I mean, I got you here. So let's look at some of these standings while we're here. In the Eastern Conference, the Celtics are number one, followed by the Orlando Magic at two, Bucks are at three, Sixers four, Indiana's five, Cleveland six, Brooklyn seven, Knicks are eight, Miami's nine, and the Atlanta Hawks are 10, 9 to 12. The Bulls, and they're won four in a row, and they're only like a game. They're literally only a game out of the 10th spot. Well, I won't get into that. Okay, and then in the West, wow, the T Wolves are number one in the West. Shout out Minnesota. Minnesota, shout out the Timberwolves. Ant-Man and Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. I'm not sure who else they have there. Jordan McLaughlin. Those guys are, yeah, they're for real, man. They're beating teams by almost double digits. They've on a 6 game winning streak, 9-1 in their last 10 games. Yeah, you love to see it, man. Minnesota's number one, OKC's number two. Dallas is number three, Denver's number four. If that was not what I would picture the Western Conference to be, Lakers are number five, Sacramento six. The Sacramento's starting to round in the form. Phoenix is seven, Houston's eight. Clippers are back in the playoff picture, so that they've won three in a row. Clippers are ninth seed, and the Pelicans are the 10th seed. Still got the Jazz, or not the Jazz. You still have the Golden State Warriors, right below the Pelicans. Literally like I'll do this right. Game and a half below the Pelicans. Jazz are really bad. I didn't know the Jazz are that bad. They lost two in a row, but they're 7-15. I know they got some injuries. I know Markin has been out the lineup. There's just such a drop off from Golden State to Utah, and then Memphis, Portland, and San Antonio. John Morant's getting ready to come back here he has 4 more games. He just to complete his 25-game suspension. So we'll get to see what Memphis does once Ja comes back. But besides that, everything pretty much looks the same. Looks like Bradley Beal is going to come back Tuesday from a back injury. And yeah, that'll be good to see Phoenix at full strength. But besides that, that's really all there is in it going on in the NBA. Let's see if there's any. Let's see what's going on with some of these games tonight. We got a few games on the slate tonight, actually, because that tournament spanned all of last week. I know there was like Monday, Wednesday, or something like that, and then Saturday was a championship game. But then the days that the tournament games weren't going on, all the other teams were playing. So tonight we have the Heat and the Hornets, 59-50. Miami at halftime. Um, Pacers, Pistons. Pacers are out right 66-61 halftime. Pistons are 2-20. That's bad. That's my birthday. Cavaliers 54-51 versus Orlando at the half. Wow, this is probably one of the first times Orlando hasn't been leading at the half. Man, sucks for you if you bet it on Orlando win at the half. If you know, you know, man. If you know, you know. I'm just gonna say that. um, Wizards are getting throttled by the Sixers at half. 76ers at halftime. 46-75 Philadelphia. That's what almost 30 points. Yeah, 29-point blowout. The Wizards are just bad. I mean, I harp on my Bulls, and but we just got to make a few moves, and and we got some pieces there. But the Wizards are just bad. They're like a circus team. They're like and they got a bunch of clowns on there. Kuzma, not and Jordan Poole. I mean, it's sucks if you're a serious player. You're playing for Washington. I think they got some guys in it that play hard. Daniel Gafford's a guy that plays hard, and I like the rookie they have, Bilal Coulibaly, and Danny Anavita, but some of those other guys they're just yeah, they're not serious about winning. You see them, always on Shaq and the Fool or something. They're throwing alley oops off the backboard when you're down 50. Like you're just yeah. I won't get on that too much. Nuggets are losing to the Hawks 42-50. Nuggets have been terrible on the road. They're 5-8 in the road. They got to pick that up. Raptors and Knicks are in a tight one, 45-51. Spurs and Rockets just kicked off. That's still early, 8-7 Spurs. Mavericks and Grizzlies are going on now. That's early 2, 12-11. I think I'm pretty sure Kyrie Irving is out of that game. He got injured in that game. Bulls are playing the Bucks. The Bulls are down 9-16 first quarter. Wouldn't be surprised if Milwaukee tries to throttle us tonight because they were upset about losing. But we'll see. We beat them last time in overtime. David versus Goliath, right? Timberwolves are playing the Pelicans down 3-7. That's still early. The Jazz are playing the Thunder 7-12. That's still early. We'll see what happens there. Then we still have the Nets and Kings later tonight, and the Trailblazers and Clippers. So it looks like we have a full slate of NBA games on for tonight. So that would be good. And I guess moving forward, that's all we really have until December All-Star Weekend. That's like the next big thing. I think that's even so. We'll just kind of stand pat and just see what's going on. Are there any trades? I mean, I think Zach LaVine is rumored to be getting moved, but he's out for a couple weeks, so I don't know. So I just think we're going to be, kind of in limbo for the time being until something happens. But I will definitely let you guys know. But yeah, I think that's all I have for tonight. Catch me next Monday at the same time. And we can touch on anything that's happened over the week. But yeah, thank you again for joining me for another edition of Points in the Paint. I am Sam Well. Again, my handle is below. Feel free to tweet me if there's something you want me to touch on. Definitely don't be a stranger. But if not, then I will see you guys next week.